my name's McLoughlin. I work at Nerdio, so I'm just going to give an update session around what's new with Nerdio. I like to make this interactive as possible, right? So if you've got any questions or anything that you want to discuss. All right, so any Nerdio customers in the audience? One? All right, perfect. Any AVD customers in the audience? Perfect. Right. So basically, not going to spend too much time on this, but basically what we do as a company, we make AVD better, right? So we take all the pain points that you've got with Azure Virtual Desktop, Windows 365, and also Intune, and have lots of existing scripts and automated stuff to make management easier. So that's the boring stuff out of the way. So right, what's new with Nerdio? What we've been working on? So I was in two minds of what kind of presentation to do today. I was going to do one like Ben's just done. Should have, yeah. But one of the great things of working at Nerdio is the innovation that we're doing as a company. The amount of features that we're building literally every month. So since we last presented here, I counted up the features from the feature release notes, and we've built 62 new features, right, that we've built into the product. And all of those features have come from like customer feedback, so actual features that people need and want, not just some products that they just thought. So these are actually features which people have actually asked for, that we've built in. And that's what we can do as a company, because we're still essentially a small SaaS startup. So we can build a feature within days or weeks, or most likely about a month or something. So you'll hear some terminology that I'm going to talk about. So UAM, that's our Unified Application Manager. Sorry, mate. And this will be around application deployment. Close your ears, Ben. And then we've got UAM, which is our Intune management. So we're putting a lot of focus into around managing Intune, because a lot of customers are on that SCCM to kind of Intune journey, and we're kind of filling that gap around how to make Intune easier to manage. All good? Good. All right. So the first major release that we've introduced is something which the customer is asking for a while, and that's basically multi-entry ID support. Okay. So what does it give you? It's basically the ability to manage multiple AVD environments from a single pane of glass. Okay. So especially for larger customers, what we'll see is they'll have like different AVD deployments, and their kind of admin barrier is around the entry ID, right, for security purposes, or maybe they've bought another company or something like that. So we've actually given the ability to basically manage multiple AVD environments from a single Nerdio instance, right? So doesn't sound much, but trust me, if you're a customer who's managing like 10 different environments and you're having to log on to 10 different consoles, this solves that problem. It's huge, right? So that's major release number one. Major release number two, which I'm probably more excited about, is our reporting engine. And so again, something which customers have been asking for a long time. And this is basically taking all the data that you've got from within Log Analytics and give it a nice kind of GUI format. So this is like V1 of what we've deployed. What we're actually working on at the moment is each one of these are like individual widgets, and you can swap around and add in what you want. But more importantly, like automatic scheduling, right? So I can take all this information, whack it into a PDF and send it off to a manager like once a month. So that's coming. So it's going to track stuff like concurrent sessions, connection health, like what's failed, what's successful, and then eventually you'll be able to like click on each one of those and get more detailed kind of information as well. And these are some more of the metrics that we're doing as well, like desktops types, login durations, all that stuff. Right. So we're just getting all this data from Log Analytics. So if you want to get into deeper, you can just go into Log Analytics and get that. But good, right? Yeah, so these are just some more of the reporting engine stuff that I can do, session durations and postable errors and all that stuff. So, yeah, a lot more to come around that. And this is the stuff which is coming soon. All right, so we take feedback very seriously, right? So if there's something which you want, tell me, and I'll send it to the product group, because that's how we build the product, okay? And so every feature that you see in Nerdio is built from customer feedback, okay? So that's how we operate as a business. All right, next one, autoscaling insights. So autoscaling is generally the core of our business. It's what we do, it's how we built our product. And it's a thing which makes it pay for itself, essentially. we look to always enhance like how we can do things differently. And so what we've actually built is this, and there's actually something called autoscaling insights. This is a dashboard which gives you kind of green, amber, red scenario, like telling you how optimized your host pools are, right? So optimize equals I'm saving lots of money. Red means I'm wasting lots of money, okay? So we're looking at all these metrics at the bottom. So we're looking at total sessions, excess users, optimized provisions, and it'll tell you like the number of disconnected sessions in there as well, right? So it gives the customer like a really easy view. It's like, am I doing good? Am I doing bad? So feedback from this has been phenomenal from customers, right? Because they can just see like one snapshot and say, okay, I need to look at this, okay? I need to change that. But what do you change, okay? It would take someone like me to get on with the customer and tell them like what settings do I need to optimize. So to enhance that, we've built AI recommendations, right? So every company on the planet is looking at AI stuff, so we're no different. So basically what we've done is we're using the Azure OpenAI service. We've basically taken lots of snapshots of a good and bad, and then we're using that data to say, okay, this customer needs optimizing this way, and then we're actually going to say these are the settings that you need to change to go from red to green. Okay. Coming in the future as well is actually the ability to automatically change those settings. So at the moment, these are only recommendations, right? But in the future, we're going to turn around and say, okay, actually go and do this on a continual basis as well. Make sense? Good? Bad?
Awesome. Really good.
Yeah? Good. So this will hopefully give customers a continually kind of highly optimized environments, and then I'll probably look in for another job because that's what I do day to day anyway. But we'll see. Any questions? Feedback? Oh,
yeah,
good.
with the recommendations, once you eventually automate them, if there was one specific one that you didn't want to apply for whatever reason, is it going to be that granular, or is it just going to cycle through all the recommendations and apply them?
We don't know. We've not built it yet,
No,
so
no. Okay.
it's coming.
Yeah.
But
Great idea though.
Yeah.
yeah. I think it is going to be quite granular about what you tell it to what it can and can't do.
Yeah.
Probably on a per host pool basis, I would have thought.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that'll be coming. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited about this because I look at like, lots of environments, and 90% of environments I look at are badly optimized, right? Because people just deploy the default settings and just set it, forget it. They don't go back and look at that data. So this is solving that problem.
So behaviour changes, right? Yeah, after it's been deployed.
Yeah,
change.
yeah, absolutely. So user behaviour, you have like bank holidays or summer and stuff. So yeah, this will continue to monitor that setting. Great.
Just a thought on that, someone mentioned bank holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, over what period of time does it sample before making a decision? For example, I mean, weekly, when a bank holiday happens, there's no usage on Monday, we don't need machines on a Monday. It needs to be a long enough period of time to get an average general usage, you know?
Yeah, so generally what we do is, so I think it's about 14 days of data it looks at historically, but for bank holidays and stuff, what we actually do, we have an option to basically exclude certain days. So most of our customers, what they do is we exclude auto-scaling on like Christmas, bank holidays, that type of thing. And the Nerdio autoscaling has actually got stuff built into it, where if we power stuff on in the morning and nobody logs on, it'll just power it down again. So those bank holiday situations are kind of already taken care of. All right, so next one. Another thing which a lot of customers have been asking for is around multi-region DR support for the actual Nerdio deployment itself, right? Because Azure outages are quite interesting. So who here has been in an Azure outage? Who here has been badly affected by an Azure outage? Okay, so I'd say most customers I work with deploy in a single region. And for compliance reasons, most of the time, or to meet architectural requirements, that's not good enough. So you have to have multi-region support. So essentially with Nerdio, we deploy Nerdio, say, UK South. If UK South goes down, we're fucked, right? But it's not as bad as you think it is, because you can still use the native Azure console to bring stuff back up again, but it's still manual intervention. So what customers really wanted was like, if UK South goes down, I want the ability to go into UK West and spin up a load of VMs. That's still a manual effort to go and do that, or you could have like an active, but then you're spending costs. There's an extra cost associated with that because you've got double the number of VMs in UK West. So we've built a resilience, which is basically using the Azure front door service. So you can now deploy Nerdio into multiple regions, and then the Azure front door service will automatically take that into consideration as well. So something we're really excited about. Well, I was excited about it until I read the implementation pages, and it's literally 30 pages long on how to set this up. So I'm not sure how popular it's actually going to be, but it's there if you want.
Is it GA now?
Yeah, it's there now. Yeah. So we originally, as a TAM team, we took on the task of let's deploy this into our dev environment, thinking it'll be like an hour's worth of calls. It took us 4 hours. So we're refining the documentation to make it a bit easier, and there'll probably be like script installation in the future. So again, this is like V1 of that. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, so it can be active, passive, or active, active.
Yep.
In terms of like the intelligent AI stuff that you're talking about, that's going to take corrective actions and stuff. I assume there'll be one instance that is like the master, if you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, the way that's so all the information we held, it gets put into a SQL database.
Yeah.
So the way that we're managing this is that SQL database will be in a failover, right? So if you write information in your primary instance, if the secondary instance needs to take over, that'll automatically be there. CIS images. I've never heard of these before. Anyone know what they are? Yeah? Good. So CIS images are basically images which are hardened out of the box. So CIS is a kind of third-party security benchmarking company, and they basically take an image and lock it down to hell, right? So if you're working on secure government customers or something, deploy these and you'll be secure out of the box. You don't have to wait for any policy settings to be applied or anything. So we've now got full support for those, which is really cool. Anyone use Intune to deploy applications onto their session hosts? Multi-session hosts. Okay. So the biggest complaint we get from customers is it's slow, it's unreliable, right? So we use basically Winget to deploy applications onto session hosts because we find it very reliable and very, very quick, right? So what we've actually introduced is the ability to take your applications from Intune and then pull them into what we call our unified application manager as Winget applications, right? So that's something I'm very excited about because it solves a lot of problems that I'm working with customers, right? So I think that's pretty cool, but that's just me.
I mean, you think you've just hired Neil, are you planning on implementing Evergreen into that as well, not just Winget?
Maybe, yeah. So if anyone thinks what we're talking about, we've hired Aaron Parker, who wrote Evergreen, so he's probably going to be looking at all this stuff as well. Next one is UAM configuration dashboard. So this will basically look at your two policies and tell you what configuration issues they have with UAM. So this is more of our focus into managing stuff by Intune and stuff. So this is going to take two separate policies that it detects as a user and then say this will apply, but these two settings are conflicting with each other. And then to take that one step further, we've actually done version policy. So Nerdio has the capability now to basically back up Intune policies, right? So we'll back them up on an automated basis, and then we'll do comparisons between what is live and what is the backup version. Because the feedback that we're getting from customers is Intune, there's no control over the policies, right? There's no versioning. So we've introduced versioning, we've introduced backups, and then we've also introduced the ability to basically compare those. So if anyone changes any settings, we can track it back and see what settings have been
Is this
changed.
the feature that got those people with CrowdStrike out the crap?
No.
Uh-uh.
It would have though, it would have worked. Yeah, similar thing. So last one, as promised Neil, is around the policy library. So we've introduced Intune policies. So we now have like baseline policies. Coming soon is CIS baseline policies as well. So you can apply those to apply a baseline security policy to your environments. And very quickly, these are just some of the other features which we've released as well, but the ones that I just showed you, like with the major features and stuff. So I'll skip at those very quickly. Now all the UAM stuff. Again, policy library, Windows Update Remanagement, iOS and macOS support, Intune compliance dashboards, and then we've also got stuff like UAM application deployment, which is shell app support for Intune devices, which is complicated app installs, workplace policy assignments, so I can now deploy Winget applications to the whole of my workspace, not just on a per host basis, which is pretty cool. And then we've got our back roles and custom detection enhancements, and then support for HCI as well. So that's it from me.